Imagine celebrating your 100th birthday, not in a hospital bed, not with failing eyesight and aching joints, but on a hiking trail, fully sharp, fully alive, and stronger than most people half your age. That image used to be pure fantasy. But something is shifting in laboratories around the world right now, and the technology behind it is not a miracle drug or a medical implant. It is artificial intelligence. Scientists are using AI to crack the biological code of aging in ways that were simply impossible 5 years ago. And the discoveries being made could permanently change how long and how well human beings live. The biology of aging and why it matters now. To understand why AI is shaking up longevity science, it first helps to understand what aging actually is at the cellular level. Aging is not simply the passage of time. It is the gradual breakdown of the body's internal systems, the fraying of DNA, the buildup of damaged cells, the slowing of repair processes that once worked efficiently. At its core, aging happens when the DNA inside cells begins to degrade. When life is comfortable and resources are plentiful, the body tends to favor cell division over repair. Over decades, this imbalance adds up. Cells become damaged, tissues lose function, and the diseases most people associate with old age, heart disease, dementia, cancer, diabetes, begin to take hold. Harvard genetics professor Dr. David Sinclair has spent 30 years studying exactly this process.
Definitely into the 22nd century, where the technologies that they'll have, we can barely even imagine, even 10.
He compares DNA to music stored on a compact disc. Aging, he says, is like scratches on that disc. The information is still there, but the reader cannot access it cleanly. Sinclair has reported reversing biological aging in test subjects by as much as 75% in his lab, and he believes that within a generation, aging itself could become something that medicine actively manages and controls. Speaking at the World Government Summit in early 2026, he pointed out that most people can expect to face at least 5 serious illnesses by the time they reach 80. Which means addressing aging means addressing all of those conditions at once, not fighting them one by one. This is where artificial intelligence enters the picture, and it does so in a way that changes everything. The human body is almost unimaginably complex. There are trillions of cells, billions of molecular interactions, and thousands of biological pathways involved in the aging process. No human researcher, no matter how brilliant, can hold all of that complexity in their head at once. But AI can. It can process enormous datasets, identify patterns no human eye could catch, and make predictions about biological outcomes with a speed and accuracy that would have been science fiction just a decade ago. How AI is rewriting the rules of drug discovery. One of the most groundbreaking examples of AI's impact on longevity science came from researchers at Scripps Research in 2025. Scientists there used a machine learning model to identify drugs that could fight aging by targeting multiple biological pathways at the same time. The model scanned databases of known drug mechanisms, focusing on compounds that act simultaneously on proteins linked to aging processes. When 22 of those compounds were tested in living organisms, 16 of them successfully extended lifespan. One compound previously unknown in clinical use extended lifespan by a remarkable 74% in the test subjects. Even more striking, several drugs already approved by the FDA for treating schizophrenia also performed exceptionally well. Nobody would have predicted that connection using traditional research methods. The AI found it by thinking in ways humans simply cannot. This approach reflects a broader revolution in how new medicines are being discovered. For decades, pharmaceutical research operated on a one drug, one target model, find a single problem, find a single solution. That model has its limits. Aging is not caused by one thing. It is caused by many things happening simultaneously. AI makes it possible to design treatments that attack aging across multiple fronts at once, something researchers call polypharmacology. The results are consistently stronger and more reliable than anything produced by older methods. Companies like Insilico Medicine, led by Dr. Alexander Zhavoronkov, are pushing this approach even further.
Speaker, like the many people who presented here before us, and won't be able to.
Zhavoronkov has predicted that living productively to the age of 120 will become commonplace within the next few decades. His company uses generative AI, the same class of technology behind tools like ChatGPT, to design entirely new drug molecules from scratch, optimizing them for anti-aging effects before a single physical test is run. In 2025, a ChatGPT-based model developed in the longevity space significantly improved the efficiency of epigenetic reprogramming, a process that essentially teaches old cells to behave like young ones again. Entrepreneur and biohacker Brian Johnson
But the evidence we saw in terms of across the spectrum from every indication, it's just one of the most powerful foods. And so, yeah.
Has made the collision of AI and human longevity impossible to ignore. Johnson spends around $2 million each year on a hyper-optimized health protocol he calls Blueprint. At the center of it is an AI system that continuously analyzes millions of biological data points from his own body, adjusting his diet, sleep, exercise, and supplement protocols in real time. He claims that his body now functions at the biological level of someone in their late teens or early 20s, despite being in his late 40s. In early 2026, he launched a program called Immortals, offering 3 people access to his full longevity system at a cost of $1 million each. Over 1,500 applications arrived within the first 30 hours. Whatever people think of Johnson's methods, the appetite for this kind of AI-assisted longevity is clearly real and growing. What AI is revealing about the future of human lifespan, beyond drug discovery and personal biohacking, AI is transforming how scientists think about aging itself. One of the most powerful tools emerging from this field is what researchers call aging clocks, AI systems trained to estimate a person's biological age based on data from blood biomarkers, gene expression, lifestyle metrics, and even physical activity logs. These are not the same as a person's chronological age. Someone who is 50 years old on paper might have a biological age of 40 or 60, depending on how their cells have aged. AI clocks can now measure this with increasing precision, making it possible to track how specific treatments, diets, or habits are actually slowing or speeding up biological aging at the individual level. An AI model developed at Mass General Brigham demonstrated the ability to forecast cognitive decline and the eventual onset of dementia years before any symptoms appeared in patients. A speech analysis model reported by the National Institute on Aging predicted Alzheimer's progression with an accuracy of 78.2%. These are not diagnostic tools in the traditional sense. They are early warning systems that could give people and doctors years of lead time to intervene before damage becomes irreversible. Researchers are also proposing a new model for how longevity science itself gets done. Scientists have suggested the development of AI-driven research ecosystems, dedicated communities where residents' health data is continuously gathered and analyzed in real time by AI systems, allowing researchers to uncover mechanisms of aging that no conventional study design could detect. The idea reflects a recognition that the bottleneck in longevity science is not ambition or funding, it is data, and AI is uniquely equipped to make sense of the kind of vast, complex, deeply personal biological data that aging research demands. The global anti-aging market was valued at more than $85 billion in 2025 and is projected to approach $120 billion by 2030. That scale of investment reflects a world in which longevity is no longer a niche concern but a mainstream priority. Still, experts are careful to note that access remains a serious challenge. Some longevity clinics already charge tens of thousands of dollars per year, and cutting-edge stem cell therapies can cost $50,000 or more per treatment. The medicines and insights being produced by AI-driven research must eventually reach ordinary people, not just the wealthy few willing to spend their entire savings on an extra decade of health. The fundamental question is no longer whether AI can extend human lifespan. The research already shows it can. The question is how fast, how far, and for whom. Aging has long been treated as inevitable, a biological tax that every living creature must eventually pay in full. What AI is beginning to suggest is that the terms of that contract are negotiable. Not forever, perhaps, but further than anyone dared believe just a few years ago. The discoveries being made today may one day allow people to live not just longer lives, but genuinely better ones, with the energy, clarity, and vitality to enjoy every year that science helps them gain.